this flag is about
Hello
to fly up.
and welcome to Newcastle, the Spanish walkers to COP26. We are the COP26 Northeast Coalition, organising to get ourselves to protest on the Global Day of Action here in Newcastle on the 6th of November, and also send some people up to Glasgow with you to protest at the COP conference. Thanks for coming here into Newcastle. Welcome to everybody. I'm going to ask one or two people to come and say a few words, but first of all, Jamie Riscall, who is the North of Tyne Mayor, is going to say a few words to welcome you here now.
Welcome to the North of Tyne, welcome to Newcastle. I'm the elected Metro Mayor for the area. It's fantastic that you're making this protest around COP. COP is, well, we live in hope, don't we, about what COP's going to be. But is it really going to deliver the change that we need? We're still issuing licenses for the extraction of oil and gas in this country. All of the world leaders, it's not even certain who's going to be there. And there's trillions of investment that needs to move out of fossil fuels and other high carbon activities into protecting us for the future, getting a completely net zero economy with completely renewable electricity. Insulating our homes. All of the retrofitting needs to happen. We need all of the skills to create the future that we need. I'm investing heavily in climate education, in renewables, in creating jobs for the future and that just transition so that we can take everybody with us. We've held our Citizens' Assembly. We're implementing the recommendations. But everything requires everybody to pull together. So the more noise you make, the more we will see our government and global investors actually doing the things that need to happen and not just making the noises around it. Welcome.
Thanks, Jamie. As we know, it's a code red alert for climate, so we need to do something. We need to see governments doing something now, not just talking about it. It is the 26th COP coming up. So they've had 25 previous chances to get the action happening, to do something, and it's still getting closer and closer to the moment that it will be too late. So we really need everybody, the entire planet, to put pressure on our governments to do something. There's a stall here, Extinction Rebellion. I've got some cakes and leaflets. Please come up and take some sustenance and send the leaflets around. And I'm going to ask Jackie from Climate Action Newcastle to come up and say a few words of welcome as well. Jackie.
We've been following you all your way up the country and it's great to see you here. Some of our members from Climate Action Newcastle will be walking with you this afternoon, and we can hopefully give you some discount on food and things whilst you're here. So enjoy a brief stay in Newcastle and enjoy our beautiful city.
Hello, my name is Carlos. I come with the Spanish group. We left Bilbao. Thank you. We left Bilbao the end of September. We took a ferry. We arrived to Portsmouth, and we started to walk. And we've been walking ever since for 21 days. And what we have found in our way is a lot of trash. And a lot of dead animals killed by cars, and infrastructure that is not friendly for the pedestrians. But we have also found what I think is the best of the British society. All these people that have welcomed us in every single town. Every single town we have had someone, a group that has offered us music, food, accommodation, and they have just asked us, what do you need? We will help you. So we are really touched by this welcome, by this support, because at the end of the day it's just something symbolic that just to bring attention where it should be, and all around the planet there are people who care, who want to do their part, and we felt the same way, and we felt we should do something, and walking through your country has been our way to do it. So thank you very much. We're in this together, so let's get it right. Thank you.
Fantastic. It really is wonderful to see these people doing the job that they're doing, and they need the support, every support you can give them. We've got there's flyers here about the rally we're having here in Newcastle on the 6th of November, and also details of a coach if you want to get up to Glasgow to join them in the protest. So we're going to be a global day of action for climate on that day. Is there anybody else who'd like to come up and say a few words about their thoughts and feelings about climate change and what needs to be done? Simon.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. I just want to make a point about the urgency, which other people will have mentioned, the urgency of the whole setup. But I think it's also extremely important that we involve as many people as possible in this campaign. I think today there are a whole range of groups and organisations represented. We're standing on the basis of a coalition of different groups which might have different opinions about how to go about things, but what we really do need to do is on occasion come together as a mass movement. Tony mentioned November the 6th. There's going to be protests all around the country, a big one in London, a big one in Glasgow, so anybody you know in any area, get them on board with this. But one very important point that I want to make is that if we're going to change society, if we're going to stop the unfolding climate and environmental catastrophe, we have to involve as many people as possible and not say to people, look, it's simply a case of you individually changing your lifestyle. What we want is system change, not climate change, and that means that we've got to involve the trade unions, workers in workplaces, all those people who are going to be involved in redesigning our cities, making our houses and our vehicles better for the environment, coming up with ideas that come from the bottom up. What will not work, and we know this from the past, what will not work is if a small number of intellectuals or technocrats from the top say to people, you've got to change your lifestyle. This has got to come from below, and it's got to be a mass movement, and this is part of it. Thank you.
Tony from Extinction Rebellion wants to say a few words. Tony.
Hiya, I'm Tony from Extinction Rebellion Newcastle. I'm so pleased to meet and see the Spanish walkers doing this amazing exercise from Spain. It's so admirable, and I look forward to meeting you later. I wanted to speak very briefly as a pediatrician, child health doctor in XR, and I see every day in health the impact of climate change on children here and now through air pollution. And I'm joining a cycle ride on Friday of next week to Glasgow, which is coming from London, from children's hospitals across England and Scotland. And I'm joining it to go from Newcastle to Glasgow by bike. And the reason for this is to draw attention to the awful impact of air pollution on children now, which we are doing almost nothing about. We see this in Newcastle, we see it in all the cities of England, and we see it in the cities across Europe, where the air quality levels, mainly due to motor vehicles, are way above the limits. This causes asthma in children, it exacerbates asthma in adults, it causes prematurity, and it has a lifelong impact. Why are we doing nothing about it? We still have motor vehicles clogging up our roads. So this is a clear message to everybody that we must do something about this. Thank you again to the Spanish walkers. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thanks, Tony. There's cake here if people want to come up and grab a bit of cake. Are you dividing it up and giving it out? I don't know whether people are. But Tony's right. Climate change is something that's affecting all of us, from our day-to-day lives at schools with our children to the global situation with the planet, with the earth warming, with the icebergs melting, and the droughts and the fires and the floods that we're having everywhere. So there is absolute urgent necessity for action to be taken by our governments, and it needs a global response to a global warming crisis. It's no good us just relying on people doing their little bits, which they can do individually. It needs a massive change to the way that we're doing things. It means a massive Green New Deal, a massive investment into industry to change the sorts of industry we're doing. We need to get away from a military complex. The military creates a massive carbon footprint. It's one of the biggest polluters on the planet. We need to get away from a military complex and get to a world that is supporting people and the needs of people. So we need to put that pressure onto governments, onto our local representatives, onto our MPs, onto our councils, that it is their responsibility to do something now. I think we're probably, unless anybody else has got anything they would like to jump up and say a few words, can we give a final round of applause to the walkers, wish them on their way. They're off to Cromlington next. And I'm sure they need to get a little bit of rest and some sustenance before they're on their way. So thank you, everybody. Oh yes, before everybody goes, if everybody could jump up on the monument here with us, and we'll take a mass photograph of everybody here up on the monument. That would be fantastic. Now, the guy with the guy with the big camera, do you want to tell us when you think we're all ready?
Is that me?
Yeah? Okay. Everybody? After 3, 1, 2, 3, smile!
Please.